Welcome back, everyone, here at a Brags Talks. Today, got a very special video for you guys. We are going to be talking about the report that the New York Yankees have something big in the works. Yesterday, Friday afternoon, Buster Only was on the radio, and he said the Yankees are in on Carlos Rodon, but they have something bigger in the works. That's what he heard, and he speculated maybe that person could be Carlos Correa because on the free agent market, Carlos Correa is probably the biggest name left. And he's someone that the Yankees have sort of been interested in. And Buster only mentioned that as a possible situation. And another thing the Yankees could have big in the works is possibly a trade. We're going to be discussing that. But then Michael Kay said on his radio show that he's heard that the Yankees have something big in the works as well. So this got me, Christian, and many other Yankee fans excited and starting to speculate, what could that be? Christian, what do you think this could be?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is Carlos Correa because that's what Buster only said. However, there's a few other possible things it can mean. I saw an interesting theory because this does feel very random and out of place. I thought Cashman said earlier, right at the beginning of the offseason, we weren't really going to go after a shortstop. We're
Oh, we don't
confident in our
know.
guys.
We don't know if it's Carlos Correa. Buster only was just speculating that that makes the most sense out of the guys left in free agency. He'd be the biggest guy, and he's kind of somewhat the only one the Yankees have really been connected to. I mean, I don't think a guy
Yes,
like
well, by saying they're looking at something bigger than Rodon, the only other possible signing that could be was Carlos Correa because he's the biggest
exactly.
free agent right now. But I just thought it was a little out of place. So one theory I saw was that Carlos Rodon's price could have been getting a little too high, possibly for the Yankees, and maybe the Yankees fed some information to try and be like, "Hey, Carlos Rodon, if you don't want to go to us, fine, we'll go after someone else," almost to like scare him into signing a contract with the Yankees. However, that doesn't really make sense because Scott
Yeah.
Boras is both Carlos Correa and Carlos Rodon agent. So it doesn't totally make sense. And it opens a ton of possibilities. Ryan, we have Peraza, Volpe, Cabrera. If you sign Carlos Correa, what does that mean for all those guys?
It means one of them's going to get dealt. And you right now, you think if they went out and got a Carlos Correa, you think that Peraza would be the guy that gets dealt. And they got not only Peraza and Volpe, guys, approaching the major league level. Peraza already on the major league roster, but they got guys like Trey Sweeney, Roger Arias, many other shortstops. So I would assume one would have to move to second base and the other one would get dealt. Um, as far as the whole Rodon thing goes, I'm very confident the Yankees are, doing the best they can to sign Carlos Rodon. You mentioned that theory. I mean, I don't. That doesn't make much sense to me. But I mean, who knows? I mean, it's really really interesting. Um, so maybe it is a Carlos Correa. I know last year they potentially talked about a 4-year deal during free agency, but talks were never really got that far between them. Probably the best defensive shortstop in the league. He can do it all. He's an excellent talent, and he would certainly fit in very, very nice into that lineup. Could it be a trade? I heard the Yankees might have offered a deal, might have offered a trade proposal to the Pirates for Brian Reynolds. Could they have a big trade in the works? That could definitely, certainly be a possibility. And it might make more sense than Carlos Correa based off, what we've heard. But it could be a trade. It could be Carlos Correa. Who knows? But it's really, really interesting. And yeah, I mean, it's really really interesting, and it's really fun to speculate about because what could this be? And maybe it's not even anything. Maybe it's just some giant smokescreen, nothing, whatever false report. Who knows? But I have no idea what this could be. Absolutely no idea. If I had to take a guess, I don't even know. I'll go Carlos Correa, but I really have no idea.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think it's a trade. I just if it was a big trade, you're not making a minor trade. If what he's reporting, it's something involving some of your top five prospects, it just doesn't make much sense to me. First off, you've waited so long. Volpe, Peraza, they're like right there. So it doesn't really make sense to trade them now. And also, if the Yankees do go ahead and trade them, well, now who's playing shortstop? So, and any big trade will likely involve those guys. So that's why I just find it I don't see a trade really happening. And we know the Yankees, they like to hold their prospects. They're not I think they would rather sign a guy. And we're seeing that with a lot of teams. They don't really care if they're
Yeah.
going to overspend because we'd rather pay money, get this guy, opposed to give up some of our prospects. So
Yeah.
I, it's a really interesting situation. I would love Carlos Correa. I think he pretty much completes that lineup and that team as a whole. I mean, probably going to want to slot someone in the left field, but other than that, it's great. I would also love Rodon. So it's very interesting. And this report, it really makes you think, what is Brian Cashman, Hal Steinbrenner cooking up?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. But if it's something big in the works, I know the Yankees love their prospects, but if it's something big in the works, I mean, I'm sure the Yankees would jump the gun if it was maybe like a Brian Reynolds, or maybe in some world it's something with Otani. I don't know. But if it's that big, I'm sure they jump the gun to get that deal done. But I really have no idea. Right now I'm just waiting for the Yankees to sign the man Carlos Rodon, and then who knows? Maybe tonight, maybe when this video comes out, you'll go on Instagram and you'll see the post from MLB saying Carlos Correa on the move with the Yankee logo there.
Yeah, it's possible. And I mean, the last thing I'll say here is don't be surprised if nothing happens. The Yankees, first of all, they're the Yankees, so they're going to be connected. They're going to be in the news a lot. And we've seen this before, where last offseason, how much talk was there about the Yankees going after a big shortstop? Never happened. So I'm not saying this is all fake, but it's the Yankees, and we've seen this before. We saw it with Harper and Machado, where there was tons of rumors, and nothing happens. So just because there's reports, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't even mean it's true.